19-year-old student Gaelan Wort penned down and recently released his debut political thriller book titled The Nature of Predation. Now, the book is based on 2 centuries after the fall of the old world, the Aegis City, which was humanity's last bastion, and just how it began to fail the new realities. Technological foes, rogues, struggling military, guerrilla raids and rampant famine. Well, these are just some of the topics that Gaelan tackles and thoroughly highlights in this story. Well, he is in studio with us this morning to help us unpack this offering. A very good morning to you, Gaelan, and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
And a very good morning to you, and thank you for having me.
You describe this book as a speculative fiction. What do you mean by this?
Well, in that regard, it has some science fiction leanings, but all the technology employed exists within feasibility.
Okay.
So it's not too far off from our present-day reality.
Okay. And you started penning this book when you were only 18 years old. What was it about this story that propelled you to write this book?
Well, this is the thing about all these high fiction sort of genres, in that they, I suppose, distance from our reality really provides like an unfiltered look at humanity, really. It was the characters. I mean, it's these high-stakes circumstances that really permitted me to emphasize the extremes of humanity, and it's very appealing.
And it's based in Aegis City, 2 centuries after the fall of the old world. Speak to us about this setting and how it eventually is picked up in this book.
Okay, well, Aegis City, the last bastion, was conceived as a utopia after a global genetic campaign brought about the collapse of the modern global population. Yeah. And therein, the Aegis, meaning shield or vault, is a remnant for the human race. So it's conceptualized as a utopia after 2 centuries grappling with these external threats, besieged by inhuman terrors beyond the walls. The Nature of Predation documents how this bastion city is beginning to fail. Political vices by the ruling conglomerate are crippling the infrastructure within, and destabilization by rogue insurgencies threaten to destabilize their protection against the threat without.
And to try and unpack for us some of the characters in this book, I mean, starting with Jennifer and Daisuke, who play major roles in how the story eventually unfolds.
Yes, it is quite a large story, multiple character groups. And so Jennifer, as far as the narrative device goes, I don't know how far you've gotten, so I don't want to give any spoilers, but she's involved with the military senate, but actually acts as a sympathetic lens to look at the other character groups within the setting. Daisuke, he's a very interesting character for me to write. He's conceptualized, well, he improved the Scion program. So that's I guess, employs a breeding program that prioritizes genetic diversification. And because there is such a dwindling population count, they can't afford to lose any of their citizens. Thereby, Daisuke is in charge of a Scion program whereby distinct individuals are cloned and their scions are used to combat the threat beyond the wall. So he is necessitous in that he creates the technology that enables the story, but he's also such a grounded character. He almost has a voice of reason against all the extremist ideas that come about.
Yeah. And what are some of the themes that are explored in this book, and how were you able to, make sure that those themes are actually encapsulated in the rest of the book?
Yes, an interesting question. As there are so many character groups and all their stories run parallel, intertwining and diverging, I was able to grapple with several themes, but I think central to the plot would be emotion, human emotion, feeling, interaction. The scions, being utility-based beings, they are not permitted emotional feeling, and they basically give their all to a cause that they don't truly identify with. And I think there's certain parallels in our present-day reality. It almost seems that ideologies and indistinct, like, political views are more important than your own personal, like, interactions on a human basis.
You know, I could sense the love, the deep love and passion of science fiction. And as a long-time avid science fiction reader, should we expect more science fiction books from you in the near
Definitely,
future?
and not just science fiction. I'm currently writing a Gothic horror alternative history, so that has some fantasy leanings, but I'll be expanding this series at a later date, and I've almost too many stories to pen in the time I have. So, yes, look forward to me.
Okay. And this book, where can you get a copy?
Well, it's currently available in Gauteng and Cape Town, in all good bookstores it should be, primarily exclusive books, and we are currently extending the distribution to all the other areas of South Africa.
All right, we will await that sequel then. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was Gaelan Wort, and he's been speaking to us about his newly released debut novel, The Nature of Predation. Well, if you belong to a book club or you are a lone reader, you can join us for a Sunday morning book feature to talk about some of the books that you're currently reading or have read. You can simply send us a detailed description of your book club on email. You can also send us a picture of those books with a brief caption using our social media platforms. You can use our Twitter handle at @MorningLiveSABC, #MorningLiveSABC. You can also tag or send us a Facebook message via our page, Morning Live SABC, and our email address is morninglive@sabc.co.za.